You are.
All right, man, we're live.
Live? Where are we live at? I know we're live. We're live right here.
We're live. The best part of this is we're alive. And we're live. We're coming to you from my house here in East Nashville, Tennessee. And this could not be cued more perfectly because here comes the train, right?
That old lonesome whistle blowing.
When you buy a house in East Nashville, you pay extra to be close to the railroad tracks because it's so ironic and lonesome.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so here we are. We've got my good buddy John Oates, and I guess he thinks that since we're on my YouTube channel now that I'm going to be doing all the talking. Is that how this works? So anyway, yeah. So we're gonna talk about some stuff coming up as we're gonna do together, and we're also gonna play some songs. John's gonna sing.
I'm gonna sing.
And we're gonna pick some acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here. We'll get into a bunch of stories and stuff here in just a minute, but I guess we'll just kick this off by picking a tune, huh?
Yeah. You want to do?
Tell them a little bit about it.
Okay. We'll start off with an old country classic. It's a song that was written and performed by Don Gibson way back when. And when I was a little kid, and I started playing guitar when I was really young. It was one of the first songs I learned that I could kind of accompany myself and play and sing at the same time, going way back there. So
Love this tune.
kind of resurrected it. A few years ago, I got to play at the Don Gibson Theater in North Carolina, and his widow, Miss Bobby Gibson, was in the front row, and I kind of relearned the song for that. So anyway, it's a Don Gibson classic. So ready?
Yeah.
You ready, Freddie? All right,
do
here
it.
we go. Everybody's going out and having fun. Just a fool for staying home and having none. Can't get over how she set me free. Oh, lonesome me. Bad mistake I'm making by just hanging around. Maybe I should go on out and lovesick fool is blind but just can't see. Oh, lonesome. Well, guess she not like me. He's out in fancy free, flirting with boys and all her charm. But I still love her so. Brother, don't you know I'd welcome her right back here in my arms. Well, it must be somewhere I can lose this lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find somebody. I thought of everything from A to Z. Oh, lonesome. Here we go. Well, I guess she's not like me. Well, she's out of fancy free, flirting with the boys and all her charm. I still love her so. Brother, don't you know I'd welcome her right back here in my arms. Well, it must be somewhere I can lose this lonesome blues. Forget about the past and find somebody. All of everything from A to Z. Oh, lonesome me. Oh, lonesome.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, Yeah, man, that's a good one. You know, I actually recorded a version of that on my last recording that I did with Charlie Worsham.
Oh yeah.
We did a little,
Nice.
little version
Nice,
of it.
nice.
Fun song to play.
Yeah, it is.
If you listen to the bass on the original, it's completely upside down.
Is it really?
It's so weird.
Oh, I got it. You know, it's been
But
so
it
long.
works.
I haven't heard the original in years. So
It's really
I
wild.
should go back and listen to
The
it.
Don Gibson version, yeah.
Well, anyway, we this is cool to be on Guthrie's YouTube channel because I know all you guys who follow Guthrie, you probably get some amazing guitar lessons as well. So, which is really cool. And because tell them about your guitar. Well, they all know about your guitar lessons, don't they?
They do, yeah. I'm pretty vocal about that on here, but yeah, this is a great channel. You know, a lot of these guys on here are really good players as well, and this is a good. You know what I'm starting to realize is the kind of music that we like. It doesn't attract a lot of assholes. There's like when you play really cool organic roots music. Usually the people are pretty nice.
And people are in it for that reason.
And they're in it for that reason.
For the music, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no alternative. People just they want to hear playing. They want to hear, singing, playing songs, and
Right.
and that's really and that's what it's all about. That's what music should always be about. So
Absolutely, and these guys are great. I get a ton of really supportive and great comments, and I've made some great friends around the world through meeting people via YouTube, because it is, I mean, all the social media platforms, YouTube is kind of the coup de grace. I mean, they've got the most eyeballs, and man, I think this is personally one of the, as far as creatives go, this is the best use of the internet right here. Linking us to all these people that are,
and we can do a longer format. You can play longer. You don't have you're not restricted by time and all that kind of stuff.
right.
Which is cool.
You don't get the energy from a live audience, but this is definitely the next best thing. And we appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna let Tom is the man on the scene here behind the scenes, and he's gonna kind of keep us informed of any questions or any feedback that you guys want to give us. So feel free to drop that stuff in. Tom, how are we looking so far?
We're looking good. One person asked what key the first song was in.
Good question, because I'm not capoed, but you are, right?
That would be E.
Key at E.
I'm capoed. Yeah, I was capoed on the 4th fret, but playing with a C position.
Right.
So that would make an E chord.
Yeah. So I will say this thing that we're doing here, it will not be very guitar lesson oriented. We're just here to have fun, and you feel free to ask all the questions in the world you want, but we're not necessarily going to be teaching a lot here. We're going to be playing and talking and just kind of messing around. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good question, because I was not capoed and I was playing out of open E, and he is capoed and was playing out of the C position, which I will say, if you're playing with two guitars like this, the last thing I want to do is be playing exactly what he's playing. And he knows I like to know the chords that he's playing to be able to know where to kind of go. But it would be stupid for me, because I'm not singing harmony or anything, so the only thing I'm adding is my little colors and stuff here and there. So the last thing I want to do is be playing the exact same rhythm and area on the guitar, the same voicings and stuff, because they cancel each other out.
Yeah, plus
point.
it creates two different tonalities. The inversions that I'm playing are not the same inversions that Guthrie would be playing when he's playing straight, with the straight chords without a capo. And so you get a lot of harmonic combinations, which really kind of, that's the beauty of doing that. A lot of times when two guitar players are playing, it's really important to watch the other person, and I try to always do inversions that are complementary to the ones that the other players play.
And every once in a while, you'll stumble upon, like on that last tune, every once in a while I'm playing this B7, which is right here. Of course, I just said we're not going to teach, but here we are. So here's the B7. Well, if he's playing that same B7, I'm going to focus my energy more on the upper part of it. If he's down here low playing more of the bass notes, I might play, more of a, or do something up higher. So at least even though it might be the same chord, I'm playing, focusing on a little bit of a different part of it. But anyway, enough on that, and maybe more to come later. But
well, you know what? I mean, since we're talking about it, let's do something that really shows that off.
Okay.
Let's do Miss the Mississippi.
Okay, great. Love this.
So on this one, yeah, I'm going to be capoed on the 5th fret, and I'm going to be playing. We'll be in the key of D, but I'll be as the a lot of bluegrass players say, clamp 5,
Clamp 5.
A shape.
Clamp 5.
Clamp 5 A shape.
Talk about some inside shit right there.
That's a real bluegrass thing.
So what'd you say? Clamp 5 A shape.
Clamp 5 A shape. That's right. I learned that at Telluride Bluegrass Festival. So anyway.
Right.
But anyway, this is a great Jimmy Rogers song. It was written in the early 1930s. One of my favorite songs of all time. And we recorded it together on the Arkansas album that we did in 2018 with the Good Road Band. And it's just such a beautiful song, and it's got really cool chords. So here again, I'll be playing up here nice and high, and the guitar kind of rings in a cool way up high. And Guthrie will be doing his thing somewhere else on the fretboard.
Right. We'll see where that ends
All right,
up.
we'll see what. It's called "This is Mississippi." Here we go. I'm growing tired of the big city lights, tired of the glamour and tired of the sights, and in my dreams I've been rolling once more, far from my home on the old river shore. I'm so sad and weary, far away from home. I miss the Mississippi. Days are dark and dreary everywhere I roam. I miss the Mississippi and you. Rolling the wide world over, always low. Seems to cheer me under heaven's dome. I miss the Mississippi and you. Rolling the wide world over, away low mockingbirds are singing round the cabin door. I miss the Mississippi. I love that song.
Man, what a good song.
Oh, so beautiful,
God,
so
that's Jimmy Rogers?
Yeah, he didn't write it, believe it or not. Some guy named Bill Haley wrote it. Not Bill Haley in the comments.
Bill Haley.
Bill Haley. And he wrote it in the early 1930s, but Jimmy Rogers made it famous. It was one of his signature songs. And,
Jimmy Rogers, they called him the singing brakeman.
yeah, the yodeling brakeman.
The yodeling
yeah,
brakeman.
and he was influential to all the great country singers, Hank Williams, and
Yeah.
he is one of the true originals. You know, when it comes
What
to
other-
American country music.
What other songs did he have? You know?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. I can't even
Have to
remember
look it
anymore.
up.
Yeah.
Because then I always go, it was Jimmy Rogers that really influenced country, and then Jimmy Reed was the blues
Yeah,
guy.
Jimmy Reed was a monster blues player.
That
I think
came
he was
up-
from Kansas City. Somebody out there will know for sure.
That will, and so I think Jimmy Reed was the first guy that ever did this, wasn't he?
If he did, he should have patented that thing, man.
No shit. Wow. So, I'll just in case anybody out there is wondering, because I'm sure they're going to ask this question. I would be disappointed if they didn't. I'm playing. This is a 1933 Gibson L00, and they call it a tuxedo because of obviously it's black and white. And I know Derek Trucks has one like this. Rodney Crowell's got one like this, and there's a few others floating around, but you don't see them too often. But nice little guitar here, and what are you playing, John?
This is a 0018, Martin 0018, built at the Martin Custom Shop up in Nazareth, PA. But it's made to kind of to my specs. It's got a bit narrower neck, a classic mahogany and spruce, but it's a half an inch wider in the depth of the body, which gives it a little more mellow and a little more bass response. So I love a small body guitar because I like the way my arm fits over it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to, I don't want to be playing a big dreadnought like this.
Right.
But at the same time, I wanted a little bit more richer sound out of the smaller body. So
Right.
It's a beautiful guitar. I got two of these, and they're just perfect.
That's really
There you
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got your logo in the. On
It's
the
got a little
top fret.
logo in there. Yeah.
And,
Little bling.
Hey,
Got a little
speaking
bling.
of logos and bling.
Oh, there you go. All right.
All
hold on.
right. Look what we got here, folks. Got to show this off a little bit. Here's the. Tell them a little bit about this. Got some new merch. Is that what's going on? here?
Well, I've had this merch for sale. The Hall & Oates tour is still ongoing, and these things are for sale on the store and at the gigs.
It's a
and all
nice
that kind of stuff.
flat brim
Yeah,
hat.
you got
Yeah.
almost a semi-trucker mustache hat, So if that's your style.
Oh, that's the mustache, the white.
well, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? You want to play another tune?
yeah.
Or tell us a story. Let's tell them a little bit about the. So we've got the reason why we're kind of getting back to doing this is because we've got some shows coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna do some shows together, just like this,
Mhm.
because I'm playing with Daryl and the great Hall & Oates band, and it's a big show with video screens and the whole shebang. And boy, I like nothing better than just the contrast of playing like this in the most organic, natural way possible, and just the two of us, no mics, no amps, no nothing, and man, it's like a cleanse. It's really cool. And Guthrie and I have known each other for about 15 years now. We met at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival, and we started playing together a little bit. We tested the waters, and then we played together in bands, and we've done trios and duos, and we've kind of whittled it down to wanting to do something together. And we're playing November 17th in Nashville at where are we playing?
Rudy's Jazz Room.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's going to be November 17th, and we're going to do just kind of like what we're doing here. And then we're going out to Colorado at Christmas time, December 29th. We'll be at the historic Wheeler Opera House, which is absolutely just the most beautiful place to play acoustic music. I think next to the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, the Wheeler Opera House in Aspen is without a doubt one of my favorite places. You haven't been there yet.
I don't think I've been there.
Well,
No.
you're gonna love it, man.
Mhm.
So we're doing that, and we'll probably do a couple more shows here and there. So if you like what you hear, you can invite us to wherever you guys are.
You know what's funny is we were doing that. We met at Telluride and we did the Sam Bush late night jam,
Right.
and he came over. We were on complete opposite sides of the stage with about 25 people in between.
All right.
And we all took guitar solos, and at the end of the night, you came over and just handed me this guitar.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, 15 years ago, I was raised on, we didn't listen to the radio in my household growing up. I was listening to Sam Bush and and Jackson Brown. I mean, that was a lot of this really organic bluegrass and acoustic music. John Prine, and so I didn't really know much about Hall and Oates other than I've heard those songs my whole life without knowing it, because even today, if you go down the street to Walgreens or any business or any bank or anything, you're gonna hear Hall and Oates music. Any restaurant, any bar, anywhere. I mean, 5 times a day, I can't get away from Johnny's with me all the time now.
That's okay.
There could be worse problems to have. No, I'm totally joking, but so I didn't really know who this guy was, man.
Except I handed him a guitar.
So he hands me this guitar, and then I'm sitting there going, man, I can't take your guitar, and I think he just didn't want to fly back with it.
I didn't. I didn't want to carry it.
No, he didn't know. He's like, who is this kid? I'm just going to give this.
No, that's totally not true.
I know.
Guthrie blew my mind. I had never actually heard him play.
And Sam and Jerry were sitting there going, take the guitar. Take the guitar.
Guthrie blew my mind. He was soloing his ass off, and
oh, God.
It sounded so good, and he was just ripping, and I was like, man, this guy's burning. I said, I'm never going to play like this the rest of my life. Here, take this guitar, get it off my hands.
And so the funny thing about that was I was going to say is, we would play the Telluride Bluegrass Festival every year with Jerry, and we did a couple times with 18 South. I did the Blues and Brew Festival with Trigger Hippie. But my point is every time in the course of that 15 years that I'd been to Telluride, Colorado, it was always during the summertime. So I'd never seen Telluride in the snow.
Oh, that's right.
For like 15 years. And then
So
until
2
we
years
went out
ago.
there 2 years ago,
It was
in the
19.
middle of the winter.
The Christmas of 19, we did a show at the Sheridan Opera House, which is that kind of smaller version of the Wheeler Opera House. It's
Right.
Telluride's version of an old Victorian opera house.
Very
Beautiful,
cool.
again, a beautiful place to play. And we went out there and played around Christmas time, and it was serious snow.
Full-blown snow.
Yeah, full-blown blizzard. So.
It's so interesting too. Oh, well, it made me think, because when we go out there in December, it's going to be full on.
It should be.
Yeah.
If things go well, it will be.
Yeah. And with the funny thing too is, being from South Alabama on the Gulf Coast, the most humid place in the United States. When you go out to Colorado that day, I remember that day it was like
dry.
18 degrees.
It's dry. There's no humidity.
And of course, I didn't have a proper jacket. I had some kind of, jacket that looked like it was warm, but it was only about that thick. And the people from Colorado just laugh at you. They're like, "What are you gonna do with that thing?" And so we could have walked around. I could have walked around town all day that day. Of course, the sun was out too.
Yeah.
It was 18 degrees.
It's always beautiful there.
It was so perfect.
Yeah,
But if it was
was
18 degrees in Nashville,
Oh, you'd be freezing, dude.
you'd freeze your ass off
That's right.
because of all the moisture, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So now, not
We
only
like to cover all kinds of
yeah, so
topics
now,
on
now
this
not
show.
only have you gotten a guitar lesson, but now you're getting a weather lesson as well.
It's
little barometer and moisture
Right.
moisture seminar.
You want to tell them about the bottled water real quick?
What about it?
Here's another thing that I learned from John Oates.
Oh yeah, I'm a fountain of useless information.
The
folks.
fountain, no pun intended.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so you said this about the Dasani water. Your son told you this, right?
Yeah, my son's a bit of a science dude, and I was drinking some Dasani water, and I kept getting thirsty. And he said, "Well, Dad, it's got salt in it." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Look on the ingredients," and sure enough, it had salt in it. So yesterday we were playing and he gave me one of these plastic water bottles, and I was
From
drinking
Publix.
it. By the end of the night, I was freaking thirsty again. I was going, "That water's got salt in it, man. It's got to have salt."
Let's
in it.
take the taste test.
All right, you taste it. Salt or no salt?
You must have an extremely refined palate, because I can't taste any salt in there. And they don't put it on the label because
I don't know. Maybe
they know it's in there.
I don't know. Maybe it was that pizza I ate before it came out. I don't know.
Okay, back
I'm
to
sure
the,
these folks are really bored at this point. They're,
Yeah, how many
they're
other-
like tuning out immediately.
You're looking at 204 right now.
204 people.
Yeah.
204
Nice.
people.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't lost them yet. That's a
Right,
good
right,
sign.
right.
So that might mean we
We
need
better
to
hurry.
play a song. Right?
So, any comments or questions, Tom?
Yeah, we got a few.
Check them out.
One of the ones was, do you write on tour? Or I think that was angled for you, John.
I very seldom write on tour. I get ideas on tour all the time. I get ideas every day, 24 hours a day. And I jot them down or I put them in my phone. I don't write too much on tour. They're two different things. When you play live and you're on tour, it's like everything's outward. it's energy, it's vibe, it's personality, it's that's what it's all about for me. And then writing is the exact opposite. It's inward. It's like kind of tapping into some other thing inside you, and whether it's mental or emotional, and then bringing that out in a song. So for me, songwriting's like it's like exercising a muscle. It's like when I don't do it, I don't want to do it, and once I start, I can't stop. So it's just one of those things. So.
And then another one was just how do you get out of a rut, songwriting wise? That's for both of you.
You can take that one first.
How do you get out of a rut?
It's a good question. I think a lot of people have these kind of rituals maybe that they go through. Maybe they are more creative first thing in the morning. Maybe they go out of town and on some sort of writer's retreat. And do these different things to kind of get them in the groove. I just kind of pick up the guitar when I have some spare time, or a lot of times if I'm warming up before a lesson or to do something like this, I might, find myself just picking up the guitar and trying to compose some music or something musical versus going through any kind of exercise or scale or anything like that. I want to try to start coming up with something that has a groove, and then not necessarily in this order, but a melody and a groove. Because what I see a lot of youngsters lacking in songwriting these days is melody and groove. There's a lot of, there's a lot of that going on, and there needs to be more groove and more melody. So I'm always trying to put myself, I'll tell you one little thing, is I'm trying to always put myself in the shoes of what I would like to hear when I go out and listen to music. And I want to do something that's not going to be boring, because I hate going out and listening to music and being bored, because we all we're so saturated with all this stuff in Nashville, which is probably the most condensed, square mile area of creatives probably in the world.
Probably.
And this neighborhood,
For sure.
no exception. And we're just getting slammed with this stuff all day long. So our level, our bullshit meter and tolerance meter is pretty high.
Yeah.
So when you go out to these clubs and we're all busy and our time's valuable, if something doesn't grab you right away, you're kind of over it. It's a tough crowd, let's just put it that way.
Yeah, everybody's good here.
Everybody's good.
In Nashville, you can walk into any little place and hear some singer-songwriter, and you'll be blown away. You'll go, wow. Yeah, the level is way up here, so
Yeah.
which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do different tunings. I mess around. I don't know if you noticed on that one song we played. I didn't use. Well, I have a little secret weapon here. I got a 5-string capo, which capo is the first 5 strings of the guitar and leaves the low E open.
Oh, wow.
So I'll do that a lot, and sometimes just putting the capo on will create something, and I'll go to a different set of fingerings. I'll finger the chords a different way, and something will happen. Or I'll pick up a lot of times just picking up a different guitar
Right.
makes you do something different. Like if I pick up an electric guitar, I'm going to play something completely different than I'm going to play on this. And even if I picked up Guthrie's acoustic, I'd probably end up wanting to play slightly different as well.
Right.
So yeah.
And coming from an electric standpoint, if I get in here and plug my pedals in and stuff, if I get some really
Sound.
vibey stuff going on,
you
that
get a
can
good sound.
inspire
That's
stuff
right.
too. Yeah.
That's right.
I know you like to use delay a lot.
I use a quarter note delay almost all the time,
Right.
and I tap. I use a tappable delay, and I have it very subtle. I don't make the level of the feedback of the delay very loud. But I just tap to the tempo of the song, and I use it almost all the time.
You'll use it on your vocal too, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Cool. Tom, what we got? Let's take one more question and we'll play a song.
The last question I saw was, are there any modern guitarists that inspire you?
Oh yeah, there's
Tons.
There's tons. Yeah.
Well, I'm a huge Tommy Emmanuel fan. I think Tommy Emmanuel, he just sets the bar as an acoustic guitar player, and it's just he's so good, and makes me want to either burn my guitar or practice really hard. I'll like to practice, but I'll still never get there. But he's just one of the greats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Tommy. Our mine and John's good friend, and you guys know him, Uncle Larry, Tom Bukovac.
Tom Bukovac, amazing.
I just had a great, I was gonna say, some of my very favorite guitar players are I'm lucky to call them my friends, and they live here in Nashville, and they're session guys or whatever, but Kenny Greenberg, I'm a big fan of his. I love Jack Pearson, Tommy, and then Tom has just got something special. He sounds like himself, and he's just so into it, and he's learned so much, and he's such a wealth of knowledge. And it's funny because today I took some guitars over to his session that he was on at Blackbird and let him look at a couple things, and he showed me a couple things, and we kind of talked shop for a minute. I needed some consulting from him on a couple things I was a little frustrated with. He got me sorted out, and so I had a great meeting with him today. But you've worked with him a bunch too.
Lots of times, and he's
Yeah.
just he's amazing. And you know, Vince Gill ain't bad.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
There's so many great players. It would be actually a disservice to not mention all the amazing players in this town. So
It's like going to the paint store at Home Depot.
yeah.
And-
What
and
color do you want?
It's
right?
like what shade? It's
That's
like
right,
there's
yeah.
everything that you can imagine. We're so spoiled here
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Nashville.
True.
But it also keeps us to where you can't rest on your laurels too
No,
much here.
I'll tell you, when I moved to Nashville, one of the first things I did was start practicing again. It really, the musical bar was so high,
Wow.
and I noticed that among the people I was playing with, and I just said, man, I gotta woodshed a bit. I gotta get back to playing,
Mhm.
and it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. So
One of the things I'll always say about, and then I know we're gonna play a song here in a minute, but one of the things I always say about this guy is you know, I started noticing this the more we played together, was you could have retired a long time ago,
well,
you know, and
my wife wouldn't agree with you, but go ahead.
so you know, this is John Oates, and so, but when we play these gigs, you know, sometimes we'd end up at a cool small venue, and it didn't matter. This guy's the first guy to sound check. He's checking out a new pedal or a new pedal board or a new tuner or a new guitar or something. Always trying to keep it growing and evolving, and to care that much about music after having that career is really teaches somebody like myself a lot. You know, it's just a pretty amazing thing. You know,
Well, it's part of being professional. I
Right.
have a great respect for professionalism. I believe that you know, if you work hard at something, and you know, people want to come and see you, they want to come hear you. You deserve to give them the best you got. You know, whatever that might be. So yeah. So anyway, well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. That's the thing. You know, but
All right, enough of this jabbering.
yeah.
Enough jabbering. Okay.
Show 'em what we got.
Let's play some. Let's get a little R&B on this.
Totally.
Let's play. This is an old Percy Mayfield song. It's one of my favorite songs. I love it because it was written in the '70s, and it's socially relevant, but it's just as relevant today. And it's just a simple idea about sending someone to love, because in the end, that's all that matters. Heaven, please, send all mankind understanding in peace of mind. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love, someone to love. Show the world how to get along. Peace lantern when hate is gone. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. They wait nights and watch world in trouble. My answer is always the same. If it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Awake nights, watch the world in trouble. My answer was always the same. Best man put an end to this damn sin. Hate is gonna rule the world. It's not asking too much. Please send me someone to love, someone to love. I said, send me someone to love.
Wow.
There you go.
This guy loves some guitar chords.
I like my chords, yeah. I like my chords. That's my special blues ending, by the way, folks, and feel free to use that one. You know, instead of that one, use that one I just played.
See, to most people, that would be a complex arrangement ending.
Well, that's that blues ending.
Not this guy, man.
Well,
How many times have we played? This is never fails. Like, we'll play a song.
oh, I change shit all the time. Drives these guys nuts.
We'll play the same. We've been playing some of these same
I know.
songs for 15 years, but about once or twice a year, I'll show up and he'll just look at me and start laughing and go, "Hey, check this out." And it's an amazing arrangement, you know.
Change something in the second verse or something. Yeah.
That's kind of another good point for songwriters is it's your song. You can change it if you know, it doesn't have to be locked in the whole time.
It's hey, you know what? It's a living thing, man.
Right.
It should evolve, and a lot of times, you know, I'll just hear something that I wish I, you know, a lot of times like some of the stuff we recorded, I wish I would have gone back and recorded it again because
Yeah.
after playing it live, you know, I came up with something different, you know, or
Mhm.
you know, a little tweak here and there, you know, kind of.
And if they're instrumentals, you can change the titles every night and nobody knows. All right. What do you think? Do like one or two more, and
Yeah, sure. Let's
we
do.
don't want to wear out our welcome here on the YouTubes.
You're looking at about 40 minutes in.
How many people we got?
You got 225.
225.
Yeah.
225 hardcore YouTubers.
Hey, that's definitely more people than we could fit in this room.
That's right.
So,
Hey, we got any people from like somewhere like in Europe or any place around the
There
world?
were a couple. There was one I saw from Madrid.
Wow.
the time zone probably.
Oh, that's true. It's late at night in Europe.
So it's
the middle of the night
6.
in Europe.
Some Canadian love.
Well,
It's like 2:00 in the morning.
but it's always the middle of the night in Canada, so that's
Hey, do you want to say?
Oh, one from down under.
down under. Oh, no idea what time it is down there. It's a different. Not
It's
only is it a
tomorrow.
different time, it's tomorrow, right?
So hey, real quick, definitely thanks so much to you guys. I've gotten so many, I mean, heartwarming and some tear-jerking comments from you guys about, I mean, some amazing stuff what people are going through around the world, and they say, man, your guitar playing and YouTube channel and stuff has helped us, you know, just have something to look forward to. Hey man, I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. I mean, obviously, you know, we're doing this from my music room over here in East Nashville on an iPhone. And we're kind of just, we are just set up and kind of doing this. And so appreciate you guys putting, you know, the time to check it out, and also for all the positivity and all the great feedback. So I don't get to say that to you, you know, live very often. So if I don't get to your comments, you know, personally, they all get read, and I really, really appreciate it, man. And what a treat to have him come over and join us. So thanks for that. And you can find him, of course, everywhere, you know.
Yeah, I'm at on Instagram. If you want to follow at John Oates Official, and at Real John Oates on TikTok, and you know, so yeah, check it out. There's always some fun. I've got a cool little. I'm a car guy too, so I've got this thing called Car Laboration, which is kind of a fun Instagram site where I put all my car stuff over there. So for all you gearheads, if you want to check out some of that as well.
Good car weather coming here, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, Nashville's got some great roads, so I always take advantage of that.
Yeah. They actually pave them in your neighborhood too, which is
Yeah, on the other side of town we got paved roads. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, all right. Well,
All right, well let's do something. Let's do a little bluegrassy kind of thing.
sure.
Well, semi bluegrass. My version of bluegrass, whatever the hell that is. I'm using this 5-string capo here, in case you guys want to see that. Covering all the first 5 strings, leaving the top string open.
So what that means is that allows you to get the effective drop D even in a key.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like the effective drop D, but now I'm in the key of E.
Right.
So if I play the D shape, you know, I'm clamping 5 on 2. Clamping 5 on 2.
Not clapping on 5 on 2.
No, clamping 5 on 2, playing D shape, which is an E chord. Anyway,
Right.
so here's a kind of an original version of the old Mississippi Sheiks classic, "Sitting on Top of the World," which of course a lot of you folks probably know it as a bluegrass song, but it was written in the 1930s by the Mississippi Sheiks and recorded as more of a blues song.
Very
so
cool.
yeah, so. She's gone, gone, gone out of work. Lord, I'm standing on top of the world. Let's call me up down in El Paso. She said, come back, Daddy. Oh, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone. Hey, mama, in the corner and now she's gone. Yeah, and I don't worry, baby. Lord, I'm standing Oh.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Well, hey, we can kind of look at the circle in the wagon of the wagon.
Yeah,
here.
man. I think you got a date, right?
Yeah.
He's got to leave. He's got a date. So.
Well, hey, let's. I can tell you what. Let's take a couple more questions, and then we'll look at wrapping it up here. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with us. Almost 230 people. I'm impressed.
We got one question that just asked about your chord voicings, like kind of how you, when you're writing a song, you kind of touched on it earlier, but how when you're writing a song, is it improv or is it kind of thought out beforehand?
I work stuff out. I definitely work stuff out. You know what I do a lot of times? I'll go on YouTube and I'll look up various guitar players who playing various songs, especially old standards. I love listening to some of the great jazz players, playing these old standards, and I check out the way they're moving their chord melody stuff and their leading tones so they can make the chord and lead to the next chord and transitional chords and things like that, passing tones. Mm-hmm. And that's really really cool. And then I try to incorporate some of that stuff into my more contemporary writing or whatever it is I'm trying to do. So
right on. And then we got one that said the funniest or dumbest thing ever yelled out from a crowd that you've heard.
They've yelled out, or the crowd? Oh, yeah,
the crowd has yelled out, man.
Oh, the dumbest thing, yeah. Well, I guess the old cliche would be whipping post. That's usually the one that gets everybody.
Free bird.
Free bird and whipping post. I think are the two.
I've had people come up to me before after playing a 3-hour gig on the electric guitar, and somebody walk up and go, "God, man, I gotta tell you, you're a great bass player." Really enjoyed your bass playing.
That's funny, man.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you all. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much again. I got to tell you, check out the links below, and we'll put John's links in this video as well when it goes up. And then check out all things, of course, Instagram and all that stuff. If you're not following, go check that out. That's more like some good daily life stuff if you want to see everything that's going on. And then just thanks for being a part of this channel. We got a great little guitar and music community here of about 48,000 people now, so thanks for that, and we'll keep you posted on what's to come in the future.
And if you want to hear us do this in your hometown, send us a DM or something and say, hey, come on to Kansas City, I got a place for you to play. You never know, we might just show up.
We'll show up. Bookings at GuthrieTrapp.com.
No, not only is he an amazing guitar player, he's just become our booking agent. And I didn't even know that before tonight, which is awesome. So, yeah.
Thanks, friends. We'll see y'all real soon.